Bum bum chicka bum. Dum dum chicka bum. I'm not a good singer. Hey, hey. Good evening. It is 7 p.m. November 26th. Well, 7 p.m. on the East Coast, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. Could be later, could be earlier, depending on where you are. Either way, happy Tuesday to you all. As always, we'll give you a couple minutes to get in and get settled. Hey, Cash, good to see you. Understood completely. Thanks for letting me know. But feel free to say hi. Let us know where you're from. Let's see. Question today. What is your favorite flavor? Hi, Jenna. What is your favorite flavor? Potato chip. I don't know. I was thinking about this last week. And it doesn't have to be potato, but chip, snack chip. What is your favorite flavor? If you're just joining us, we're just getting in, get settled. So say hi. Let me know you're here, where you're from. Feel free to answer the exciting question today. Clearly based on a Thanksgiving for us Americans. I was just kidding. It has nothing to do with Thanksgiving. Hey, Robert, good to see you. But let's see. What is mine? I have to go with. I love chips. Are like my weakness. I can't not eat chips, so I try not to keep too many in the house, and that fails miserably. But it's tough. If I had to pick my favorite flavored chip, it might have to be Ruffles sour cream and cheddar. Those are pretty insane. Also, Fritos chili cheese, which sounds disgusting, and it probably is disgusting. I like that one as well. So if you're just tuning in, let me know your favorite flavored chip. Say hello, where you're from, and let me rattle off some housekeeping so we can. Dill. Okay. I like that. I don't know that I've had dill, but I love dill, so that's probably delicious. Let me get through some housekeeping. Please feel free to answer, and I'll get through this, and then we can have a conversation community style. So my name is Ethan. I am a host of Community Conversations. This conversation is intended to serve as educational content and is not intended to replace therapy. For treatment-related questions, please be sure to work with your local provider or contact a local clinician. The International OCD Foundation is not a crisis hotline. If you are in crisis or ever feeling suicidal or unsafe, please go to your local emergency room or call 911 or the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by dialing 988. We always want to be as safe a space as possible. Keep in mind that we are here to support one another, and this is being broadcast on several social media platforms. So as we talk about personal things, please keep that in mind as we have a conversation. So, all right then. How is everyone doing today? Please let me know. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. It's a long work day. I love Lana. It's good to see you. Tortilla chips, no dip needed. What? So Katie's family likes plain chips. If they have chips in the house, it is potato chips. It is whatever the original flavor is, which I don't understand. I don't want to eat plain chips. If I wanted to eat plain chips, then I wouldn't eat plain chips. Like tortilla chips, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, Jen. I'm very torn about that. I like flavored chips. I'm a savory guy. I like savory over sweet. So yeah, I don't know, Jen. I don't know if I can vibe with you on that. Anybody else have any chip faves? All right. So what's going on for those of us? Hey, Stacy Rosenthal Young. Good to see you. Hi, Dottie. If you're just joining us, please say hello. Let me know where you're from. The question of the night is, what is your favorite flavored chip? Potato chip. So please feel free to put that. I love Ruffles ranch and onion. Also kettle cooked chips, jalapeno, salt and vinegar. I support all those. I can't do jalapeno. My stomach apparently doesn't agree, but anything. I love ranch, and ranch and onion are good, but something about that sour cream and cheddar, I don't know. They are insanely addicting. And yeah, I agree. The kettled sour cream and onions are very good too. We are not going to talk OCD tonight. We are going to talk 1 hour of chips. I'm excited about this topic. Maybe you are too. So salt and vinegar are delicious as well, and a solid standby. Anybody else have any favorite chip flavors that they like? While we're talking about favorite chips, Jimmy John's jalapeno kettle chips. All right, then. Yeah, the crunch on the kettle chip is something special. I like also a good cheese puff. Lay's lightly salted. All right, we talked about the plain and where I stand on plain. I don't know if lightly salted is considered a flavor, but Sharon, I respect your choice. Honey mustard. I can't do honey mustard, Serene. I like, so the Snyders have a honey mustard. I know way too much about this. This is embarrassing and amazing. I got to chase the dill now. Snyder's has a honey mustard pretzel bite. They're awesome. Maybe I would like honey mustard because I like the pretzels, the honey mustard pretzels. All right. So with that, please feel free to keep talking. This is a fun conversation. We can always start with Chip. Yeah, the pretzels. Okay, I'm with you. Totally, Lana. How's everyone doing? For those of you in the States, we have Thanksgiving coming up. For those of you that kind of struggle around this time, which is common and we all do as the holidays approach and people have expectations of us, next week is a town hall on the holiday blues. We have it every year. I'll be moderating. We'll have some special guests for you and it'll be a really great conversation. So mark your calendars. But in the meantime, fill me in. How's everyone doing? And if you're just joining us, what is your favorite flavored potato chip? I'm digging this topic. This is a topic that the OCD community has never addressed before, and I think it's important that we talk about it. Just saying. Although I just saw 4 people drop off, so maybe we don't talk about it. I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that, Stacy. Do you mind? Are you okay sharing a little bit? Maybe we can support you, and it's okay if you don't want to as well. Maybe that was in regards to, I totally agree with you. I've been buying the kettle barbecue chips at my local store closest to me. But I agree, they taste way too salty and over. I've never been a big barbecue chip eater. I'm more of a sour cream and onion. Robert, we're on the same page. Totally. But yeah, Stacy, please feel free to share if you want to. If not, totally understood. Well, let's see. So we had a community conversation last week and had a lot of good conversation on a variety of subjects. You know what? I love this. So I'm going to post here. So Stacy wrote, I don't know why I'm anxious. It's just really bad. And that is the truth for so many of us. And it's even more disconcerting when you can't place why you're anxious. I don't know if you all feel the same way. Hey, Mike, good to see you. I struggle with not knowing why I'm anxious. I think it's just more disconcerting than I have something big coming up. And it's obvious to me, okay, I have anxiety because this thing is happening tomorrow or whatever. Anxiety usually hits me when I'm relaxing or watching TV or like doing something that isn't necessarily anxiety provoking. And so when I get hit with anxiety, I get really, really caught off guard. Why am I anxious? Why is this happening? Why do I feel like this? What's going on in my life? Is something wrong? And, kind of all of the above. So I find that I don't know why I'm anxious more challenging than the knowing why I'm anxious. However, with that being said, and I don't, tell me if you all agree, but with that being said, the way we can handle it is exactly the same, which is just kind of accept that we're anxious and that's okay. I found with me, and tell me if you all agree, that my stress and anxiety surfaces for reasons that I don't know. I have very specific stressor. I don't know that I have physical, like somatic responses to stress. Dizziness, nausea, we've talked about, but I have weird ones, like my tongue will start twitching, or I get heart palpitations, which are PVCs. And so So a lot of times I won't necessarily know why. I won't like consciously feel stressed or like, well, that's weird. When in reality, I don't know that I always know why I'm stressed. And I think that's okay. I think that's okay to not know why you're stressed sometimes or why you're having anxiety. And I think sometimes we look for the why, it makes us even more anxious as opposed to saying, I feel uncomfortable right now. And I'm going to be okay with that, and just know that that's part of my process and part of OCD and part of anxiety and panic disorder. And it will just subside. And sometimes, Stacy, it's just general anxiety. You feel a little doom and a little uncertainty, and things feel a little off, and you don't necessarily have a specific reason why, and that can be really disconcerting. So I'm sorry you feel anxious. This too shall pass. We probably all feel a little anxious to some extent. And yeah, I'm going to keep, unless somebody has a problem with this, I'd like to keep the chip thing going on just to keep it light today. So if you're just joining us, what's your favorite flavored chip? Moving on. Kylie at 710. How can you work through intense anger after being treated badly at a job and have lost confidence in self and now doing intensive therapy? Please post as a oh, sorry. I should have read that first. So I sincerely apologize for that. Hopefully I didn't upset you. Well, I have a follow-up question. So is it in relation to OCD, or is just are you managing anger? And is this your first time here? And the reason I ask that is that I've navigated anger in response to OCD, and so that I can relate to and speak to. It's important to note, though, that I am not a clinician. I am not a therapist. And so navigating anger, I can, speak to my own experiences with using some modalities of treatment to support that. But as it relates, I'm not exactly sure how I can support you in that question. I'm glad you're doing intensive therapy. I think that's really important. And my question to you back would be, what are you doing in therapy, and do you think that it's helping? And then maybe we can dive in a little deeper. And if it doesn't have anything to do with OCD or related disorders, that's okay too. But then I can get a little more insight into what you're asking and maybe provide a little bit better lived experience on my own information. But I'll throw it out to the group as well. I've been wanting to do a conversation on anger for a long time, especially as it relates to OCD, because we've all been really angry around things. So curious to if anybody else has thoughts as well on Kylie's comment. CJ coming in hot with 3 chip choices. I dig that. Salt and vinegar, jalapeno, and lightly salted Ruffles. I respect those choices. All right, you can stay. I'm just kidding. Oh no, I have shingles with all the pain. I can't keep my OCD moving along. It's simply, I'm so sorry to hear that, Phyllis. Shingles is really, really, really rough. I actually haven't had it, but my family, various members of my family have had it. And so, and it's understandable. Sharon wrote that she can't keep her OCD moving along. And when we're having to deal with, something else, I always talk about this a lot. Like so when I'm sick, I really struggle to manage my OCD and manage my illness at the same time, manage my sickness at the same time. I feel like we have a certain capacity for distress, right? And if we have to deal or sit with a level of distress around something different, then the capacity to navigate the OCD becomes less. And so we let a lot more slide, OCD, compulsions, things like that. And so with the pain associated with shingles, I am not surprised that's the case. And so I'm so sorry you're feeling that way. And I know everyone here is as well. I agree with CJ. Give yourself lots of self-compassion. Give yourself space to self-care and feel better, and try not to be so hard on yourself. Yeah, the no sleep is hard too, especially for like navigating mental. But just give yourself room to breathe and give yourself a lot of self-compassion around this time. You may not fight OCD the best that you want to, and that's totally okay. So I think that is CJ came in with the best advice, which is give yourself some slack. He said, give yourself some self-compassion, and if you can't sleep because of the pain, meditate, listen to music, just let yourself be. And hey, Sean, and in regards to the OCD, obviously, you still want to resist and navigate, but like if it's just too challenging, that's okay too. Like I said, I know when I'm sick, I really struggle to keep my OCD more in check than usual. I usually have to fight a little harder, and so totally relate and feel better, please. I'm sure you'll get better soon, but we're here for you. And if you have any other questions, please say the word. Somebody threw some shade. Where was it? Here we are. Shifra. Sour cream and onion flavor is loved by losers. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, and I love that, and I hope you continue to throw, because and I think, and don't say just kidding. You have to sit with the distress tolerance that we may be upset with you. That's hilarious. Thank you. That's awesome. Love, Lana. Get with someone close to trust and who isn't uncomfortable witnessing express anger, intense anger, and tell it, express it, even at the cuss words. Yeah, I'm not going to read it out loud. I apologize again, Kylie, for posting your question, but Love, Lana is responding to you on YouTube. So please feel free to read her support. I think that's really great advice. Beth Carducci in the house. I love that. What a great question. What are we all thankful for? I'm gonna leave that up. I'm not because it says Ethan rocks. I appreciate that, but I think that's a great question. What are we all thankful for? And you don't have to be feeling good to be thankful. That is certainly true. And whether you're in the States or not in the States, I think it's a great question, and fits right into treatment as well. So what are you all thankful for? All right. Beth wrote IOCDF, my crabs, my crab group. Absolutely. No CD. Awesome. Oh, sorry, I missed Stacy. My cats. I got one sleeping right here, so I'm with you on that. So far, we agree on everything. Shifa wrote her doggy. Oh, whoops. I love the doggy. I thought we were thankful for chips, hence the question. Listen, again, that is what I'm probably most thankful for: air conditioning, followed by ranch dressing. Then the IOCDF, my family, God, things like that. But it's a great point, Jen. Whoops, I'm doing a bad job today. I'm thankful for the experiences and adventures I get to go on with my friends. I love that, Maya. Absolutely. And I think that if you're here, I think those are really important. I'm sure there were times when you struggled to do that. And I know there were times where I struggled to go on simple things and experiences. And so I am very grateful for those opportunities as well. So thank you for sharing that. Lana, coming in with a simple truth to feel heard. I love that, Lana. Thank you for saying that. My family and my pup. I think that's beautiful. Mike says, oh, Valerie's here. Hi, sweet Valerie. We're grateful for you. Love you, Val. Mike Sizemore in the house. Thankful for God, wife, family, community, work, ERP, life. Well said, Mike. We're thankful for you. So thank you all for that. CJ, honestly, you may have to cover hosting duties because I asked a bunch of questions and nobody answered them, and you asked one and like everybody came in hot. So well done, sir. Well done. So Robert, very important question coming in our topic tonight, which is potato chips. It's sort of the side of OCD. Who also loves putting potato chips in their sandwiches, burgers, po' boys, Cuban style. I, for one, think I feel like I discovered that in 3rd or 4th grade when I had ranch Doritos and you put them inside the turkey sandwich, and it's like mind blowing. It's not only is your sandwich taste good, but it's crunchy, and you're like, psh. So 100% in support of that. Good call on that. I feel like that's an advanced move, but I'm curious if anybody else likes the chips on their sandwiches. If you entered the house just now, Isastasia is here. Eric is here. Hi, everyone. Good to see you. Beth, I think, Ethan, where can I send crab nativity scene pics? I sent someone an instant message on FB, but not sure you got it. Should I post one? No, that's great. I don't check it very often. Now that you told me they're there, I'll check them and check them out, and maybe we can share. I'll share them next time. That's awesome. I'm so excited you posted them because we talked about them, so I totally want to see them. Thank you, Beth. This is it. 3 wise crabs, baby crab, Jesus, shepherd crabs, angel crabs. I love it. We love you, Beth. You're amazing. And thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. I appreciate you tuning in. Yes, I don't know. Was anybody here able to attend the virtual conference this weekend? I think we had around 1,400 attendees, lots of topics and conversations. I thought it went really, really well. So, no, I don't. It's really hard to embarrass me. Feel free to post them on my page if that's better. But I'll definitely share as well. For those of you that are just joining us, we have a lot of topics going on tonight. It's kind of a casual night of community conversations, although please know that I always kind of think about this. Please know that, if we're talking about kind of fun, kooky things in between things, we're not making light of anything. We're just kind of having multiple conversations at once. So, if you need support, if you're struggling, if you have questions, please feel free to ask a question in the comment section. And we are more than happy to answer. The other big conversation tonight is favorite flavor potato chips. We've gone pretty deep in this. It doesn't have to be potato. And we've got a lot of flavors out there. Dill has been a popular choice. Mrs. Vicky's dill. I haven't tried dill, but I'm totally down. Some people like just lightly salted. I find that weird. I like a solid flavor. Jalapeno seems to be very popular right now. We got some shade for sour cream and onion, but I respect shade, so I'm good for that. So if you're just joining us, please feel free to let us know what your favorite flavor is. Yeah, it's crazy that the holidays are here. I feel like we say that every year. Oh my God, the holidays are here. Cheddar, cheddar, nacho, always solid options. I totally agree with Beth. It's crazy that the holidays are here and already, and Thanksgiving is right around the corner, obviously on Thursday, and the holidays in December. Great question. Yeah, we're talking. So Sun Chips, first of all. So funny story about Sun Chips. I had cheddar Sun Chips in 8th grade, and that night I threw up, and I haven't eaten them since. I liked them a lot, but yeah, it was one of those weird foods when you're a kid that you're like, oh, that happened. Hot dogs too. It was the same thing. Oh, you're fine, Jillian. All good. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Are you guys excited or stressed for Thanksgiving? Great question. Great question. I said earlier, Isastasia, next Tuesday we have a town hall on holiday blues talking about stress and around the holidays. So you'll want to tune in for sure. Maya wrote, I just finished a TV show called The Boys, and there's a character in that show who has OCD, and I feel like it was actually portrayed really well and super validating. I too watched The Boys, and I agree with you. I do agree with you. I thought they did a good job. Nathan Rice in the house. I wish they made a potato chip that is bacon and cheddar and sour cream and onion flavored all at the same time. You can't argue with that. That's a loaded baked potato. And they have loaded baked potato flavor. It's a special edition. But I agree. It's like the pizza Pringles. It's like doesn't taste like pizza. I'm not sure what it is, but Nathan, I'm for that. I think that's brilliant. Valerie, Doritos, nacho over chips. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Doritos are just kind of the solid go-to for me. And the funny thing is I like equate Doritos with fattening chips. So then I buy other chips where literally they're the exact same nutritional values and everything, but in my brain. So then I just was like, well, wait a second. If veggie straws are exactly the same as Doritos, buying Doritos. So Valerie, I'm with you. I like nacho and I like ranch Doritos. I think ranch Doritos have more of a special place in my heart, but kid nostalgic, if you will. Okay, Lana. So every time I'm on a road trip, I buy these, the potato skins, the Friday's potato skin chips. I don't know why. They always have them vending machines in hospitals, and they have them at gas station stores, and I always pick them up every time I'm on a road trip. So be still my heart. You are a soulmate. Thank you for that. Doritos, Cool Ranch. See, I like this conversation. I think this is good. I like all our conversations, but I think this is something that the IOCDF has never talked about. And it's important that we talk about chip flavors because I feel like it's a conversation that we've wanted to have for a long time. So I'm glad we can have it now. I love sour cream and cheddar chips, but I don't like sour cream on anything. I think that's because the sour cream and cheddar chips don't taste like sour cream. The Ruffles sour cream and cheddar are insane. By far, possibly the best chip. Yes, Valerie's going to send me a box of Sun Chips. I know her. She likes to send boxes of snacks, and I won't argue with you. Feel free. Sorry, Kylie. I work with an ERP therapist in Lexington, Mass. Who used to work at McLean. Okay, great. So, so I'm curious, Kylie, if the anger was also around OCD or a compulsion or something like that. I'm so excited you're working with an ERP therapist. That's wonderful. And if they worked at the OCDI at McLean, even better. Anger is a tough emotion. It's intense and it's valid. And I think that we need to absolutely respect all of our emotions and understand that they're valid. I think we get told all the time, you can't feel this way, but men don't cry. You can't be angry. I think it's really important to embrace all emotions, and however you're feeling is completely valid. And I'm sorry that you feel that made you feel kind of small and less than. I'm so excited that you're working with that with your therapist. I think that they'll offer really good advice. Depending on why you were angry would depend on the course of action that you would take. If somebody specifically upset you or did something to you that really upset you, potentially confronting that person and having a conversation would be helpful. Again, without knowing too much of the details, it's kind of hard to suggest what I would do in that situation. I will tell you though, with anger, what comes up for me a lot is this idea of right versus effective. And what I mean by that, and Kylie, you can tell me if this relates to you or you relate to this, but a lot of times I'll be angry. Usually it's directed at someone specific, right? And I'll want to confront the situation in some way. But I always have to ask myself, do I want to do that to be right? And will it be effective? And what I mean by that is sometimes you deserve to address it. They were in the wrong and you were right. And you absolutely deserve to bring that to the attention, feel heard and feel seen. But at the same time, is it effective? Meaning, if you do that, is it going to cause more drama? Is it going to be more problematic? Is it going to create more issues for you? Make it a more uncomfortable environment, even though it's right, even though it's value driven, right? And if it's any of those things, but it's not effective, you really want to weigh those options. So for me, if something isn't effective, if I have a problem with somebody, if they did something wrong, but ultimately it's not going to change and it's just going to create stress and conflict, and ultimately we're just going to move forward anyway, and then oh, I thought that's who it was, Kylie. Yeah, I love Jason. He was my behavioral therapist when I was at the IOCDF. Yeah, you're in great hands. He's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, Kylie. Yeah, I love him. You're in really good hands. But so for me, and if it's about if the right will have a positive effect, it's in the best interest of myself and or the best interest of the greater good, the best interest of whatever specific thing I'm trying to do, then choosing what's right is important. But I always like to at least reflect on what's right and what's effective. And for some reason, more times than not, I choose what's effective. It may not be right in my mind, but it is the right decision overall. So that's just some addition, like some general insights around navigating anger and how to make some decisions around that. But Jason, yeah, if you haven't talked to Jason yet about it, he'll have some great insights and great tools and skills to help you navigate that for sure. So thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it, Kylie. See, so Robert said, you had me at bacon. I agree with that. Mini bags of Doritos Ranch are a no-lose situation. I think Doritos Ranch are always a solid choice. And Doritos Ranch, I think, tastes the best on subs. You may disagree with me, but I feel that way. Beth is an anomaly. Mike said he eats sour cream and onion, but doesn't put sour cream on anything. Beth hates onions, but will eat onion rings. I hate tomatoes, but will eat pretty much every tomato derivative there is. Utz snack mix is a solid choice. Haven't had it. They don't have as much Utz down in the South, but we'll have to try that out. I think the breading makes it better. Anything fried is better, Beth. Let's be honest. Nathan wrote there's a bacon and cheddar chip out there, but I forget the brand name. Bacon and cheddar. I don't know. There's so many brands now. Beth Carducci trying to bring this into a more civil conversation. What is everyone doing for Thanksgiving? Cooking, going to family members' houses, anyone traveling? If you're in the States, please feel free what you're doing feel free to share what you're doing for Thanksgiving. Mike wrote, we're going to family. My wife is seeing her family. That's wonderful. Great time for family and friends. All right. Robert has a breakdown on, I'm okay with flavored Doritos, but unlike potato chips, I like the plain Doritos best. I just remember that peppered flavored kettle chips are also good. I agree. Because Doritos in and of itself, natural Doritos is a cheesy chip. And I'm down with that. I think once you get into like the crazy, flaming hot, awkward, the ranch is fine. That I also considered a base Dorito flavor original. But once we get into crazy, I will tell you, before I got better, I saw guacamole Doritos in the grocery store, and I bought them. And I was dating, I had a girlfriend at the time. I think this was summer 2007 or 2006. And she was coming home for a holiday, and I was supposed to pick her up at the airport, and I'd eaten, I don't know, I eat the whole bag or whatever. I can't stay out of them. And I went to the bathroom, and TMI, I apologize, hopefully not a trigger, but it was green, and I thought something was wrong with me. And I refused to pick her up, and of course went into bed, and I was bedridden for 3 days, convinced, my OCD had me convinced that I was bleeding internally, and why was it green and all that stuff. So thank you, Guacamole Doritos, for ruining my relationship in 2006. She did stay with me. Who knew? Bagel chips. I like bagel chips. Has anybody had the everything bagel chips at Costco? Those are bananas. Well, they're not. They're bagel chips, but those are incredibly good. If you shop at Costco or you're a member, sometimes, they always put things in different places, and sometimes they have and sometimes they haven't. but it's a square box, and I don't remember the brand, but it's everything bagel chips. Man, insane. So good. Oh, I forgot you're in Colorado, Eric. How's it going out there? Isostasia, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving in my country. All the food you were talking about is making my mouth watering. Absolutely. Isostasia, where are you? Apologies if I forgot. See, Jen's a purist. Chips don't need dip. I think plain chips need dip. So if you're going to have hummus, I think it needs a plain chip. Obviously, carrot sticks and celery good too. If you're at a Mexican restaurant, plain tortilla chip, guacamole, things like that. But I don't typically eat flavored chips with dips. And typically I like veggies and other kind of random things with dips. So I feel like that's a little black and white, Jen. Maybe chips don't always need dip. And I agree, chips don't need dip, but chips are fun with dip sometimes. Like queso's fun. I forgot about triangles, and I never had whatever it was at Taco Bell that was the Dorito shell. I never had that either. I don't know who had that but I never had it. Does anybody remember Funyuns? I mean, they're still out, but who liked Funyuns? That was always fun. Fried Oreos. Yep. Fair food. They have fried ding dongs. I was at a fair in Miami. I was working there as a character, and they had fried butter. And that was just something I couldn't wrap my brain around. They had a fried stick of butter that you could buy and eat. And people bought it. It's like powdered sugar and fried and just a stick of butter. And that just seems so nasty. Anyway. Hubby, your kids and I are staying home. We're having a ham. Katie and I had Thanksgiving early this year. Katie's family came into town 2 weeks ago. And, or not last weekend, but the weekend before. I made turkey. I told the raw turkey story, but we also did have a honey baked ham, and it was absolutely awesome. White cheddar poppables. I don't know poppables. I recently got into popcorner chips. I like them better than pop chips, and they're not fried, and it's like 20 chips per serving as opposed to the fat is way, way, way less. The carbs are about the same. But I think the flavor is solid, and I like them better than pop chips. Maybe that's what we're talking about, Nathan. Guacamole. Oh, I love you guys so much. I feel like you're a bit of a renaissance in this department, Nathan. I think that maybe you're onto something. Now, I will say, if you're going, I haven't had soda in like 15 years, but isn't that like where you go to the different flavors and you just kind of mix and match? Fried turkey is delicious for sure. Valerie, I agree with you. Fried ding dongs, yep, for sure. I don't like Funyuns. I don't like them either, but I remember them. I was waist deep, wrist deep. For some reason, I saw wrist deep in raw turkey, and I loved every minute of it. No, I didn't. Did Isostasia say? Aw, thank you, Isostasia. All right. You know what? Well, if you're just joining us, I see more people are coming in. We are having a deep. We're doing a deep dive on chips, flavored chips. What is your favorite chip and why? We've gone pretty deep on this. They're still deeper. We haven't even crossed over into Pringles, cheese puffs, and kind of all natural chips, the veggie chips that really aren't veggie. I will say this: I discovered I love cheese puffs. I think it's from back in the day. But obviously, like, I'm trying to not eat chips. Clearly, I ate a lot of chips in my past. I'm trying not to eat now. But I found chickpea puffs that are white cheddar, and they're like way healthier, and they have protein and stuff. And I actually think they're really good. I found them, while they're not quite a cheese puff, they do curb my cheese puff craving, because you know we all crave cheese puffs, right? Right? See, Jen does. Just by writing cheese puffs doesn't mean she craves it. So my grandmother lived on Cheetos. She loved Cheetos. I couldn't get into Cheetos. I didn't get Cheetos. Cheetos were kind of nasty. Yeah, cheese puffs. See, Beth, I know it. And cheese balls. That's what we're talking about. Chipology. I'm telling you all, this is a topic that's needed to be discussed for some time. Trader Joe's has the best. Yeah, they have some good kind of generic random chip stuff. I agree with that, Jen. Trader Joe's. I do want to be cognizant of time. Please feel free to keep commenting on chips, but if anybody is here and has something on their mind or wants to share, OCD related or otherwise, please feel like that you can share. We are always here. Whoa, okay, this is a great hack. I like eating Cheetos with chopsticks so no dust gets on my fingers. So on car trips are pretty much the only place I eat chips now, because we drive pretty long distances to visit different people, and we're always taking stuff with us, which is where we drive. Not pretty long, 4 to 6 hour drives. So I stop and get a snack, and inevitably I've forgotten paper towels, and I have, my hands are full of whatever, and I end up wiping them on my legs. I don't know why I do this, but I do, because I always wear shorts, and I end up having like cheddar legs or whatever flavor chips. I get out of the car and I've just got, my legs are like, what's wrong with your legs? I'm like, it's fine. It's just chip dust. It's totally normal. But wow, what a hack. I love that. And you can eat any chip with it, with chopsticks. Maybe we could package chopsticks with chip. I don't know. You're onto something, Maya. That's amazing. And I respect Cheeto lovers. Like I said, my grandmother lived, and her mother, who lived to be 106, Cheetos and tuna fish every day. So respect the Cheeto. No hate toward the Cheeto, but if it was between Cheetos and cheese puffs, definitely like the cheese puff. Also, when you finish the bag, important question. When you finish the bag of chips and you have that flavor pocket in the corner, you know the one I'm talking about. That last pinch of all the flavor. Do we like that or do we not like that? Is it like too much seasoning and crap, or is that like the best bite? Curious. Orange knees. Yes, true story. There's a lot of information. There's not a lot of information out there about compulsive speech OCD, according to Google searches. Interesting. We should have a conversation on that then. I'm going to make a note of that, because I think we should definitely have a conversation. If you're on Ask the Expert with Chris and Liz, you should definitely throw that out as well and get a clinical perspective on compulsive speech. See, Jen, I feel like we're on the same page. The flavor, I've never put words to it. I'm just calling it the flavor pocket or flavor corner. It's good. CJ wants to hear more. Yeah, I haven't heard, to be honest, I haven't heard the term compulsive speech OCD. I kind of want to Google it real quick. Let's see what it says. Okay. So according to, I'm just going to copy and paste this, then I'll put it up. Now I'm going to preface this by saying this was a Google search and AI generated answer. So I'm not confirming or denying that this is what it is, but I'm going to post what it said. So compulsive speech is a type of OCD that involves the need to repeat words or phrases, ask questions, or make statements in a compulsive manner. People with compulsive speech may feel the need to confirm information, even if it's already known, or may feel anxious if they can't express themselves. So I'm curious, Jillian, if this describes some of what you're talking about, because I'm familiar with that. I just haven't heard specifically the term compulsive speech before. And I feel like I've heard almost everything. I respect this. That's a Pierce. And I said that. If you're going to have plain tortilla chips with sauce, agreed. Totally agree with that. I'm not sure how, I must have missed a comment how we got to seasoned marinated pork, but you know, Beth, I love you and I'm with you. I'm going to wait for Jillian to kind of weigh in on that topic. It's kind of I feel like this is a flavor of chip, like combining a discussion on chips with a sincere conversation about OCD and related disorders. Either that, or I'm going to get an email tomorrow from the IOCDF going, what did you talk about and why did you do this? Gotcha. Isostasia said it's popular in Mexico. If I look at essentially this, I mean, it's interesting that it says that. I feel like that can overlap in so many subtypes of OCD. I mean, when you're asking for reassurance, when you're asking for enabling, but also, I mean, is the asking questions, is it based on a number? You know, like I need to repeat myself so many times to feel heard. Or I don't like I know for me, and I still get the thought and the sense of that feeling, that not just right feeling where I feel like I need to say it all, I need to get it out, especially with doctors or therapists, where it's like I need to get out my whole story, I need to get it out right now, I need to make sure I fit in everything, I only have this much time, and if I don't, I feel really uneasy. I feel like, you know, there's not a bow on the conversation. I've never heard that described. I mean, that's kind of what I'm ascertaining from what they're saying, in terms of asking questions or making statements in a compulsive manner, but I'm not sure. I mean, Jillian, if you have additional insight, I would love to hear. That's what I found it online. I ask all the experts too. There's just not a lot of stuff out there that defines me to a T. So I'm curious, Jillian, how did you find that term? Did you search sort of what you were experiencing and that's what came up? So, I mean, if that's what they're saying, I'd be curious. I feel like I almost want to text Chris or Liz and ask, and I apologize. As you know, oh, thank you, Jen. I was mostly kidding, but you know, it's not necessarily on topic, but sometimes I feel like we just need to let go and just be present and have fun together. But I think we can also have a serious conversation simultaneously. So thank you for that. So you searched what you were experiencing. Interesting. I'd be genuinely curious. Does it I wonder if the IOCDF, I've never heard it. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Again, I'm not a therapist, but I feel like I do know a lot about OCD. But from what I'm reading, I mean, it really sounds like a piece of everybody's OCD. I mean, if we're triggered, if we have low insight, if we have, you know, low objectivity, and we're with somebody and we want to get answers, we're going to ask compulsively. We're going to repeat ourselves. We're not going to feel good until we get the answer that we want. So we're going to keep repeating. We're going to keep asking. Sometimes it's based around magical thinking or a number or how many times I have to say it. You know, confirming information, same. OCD will put doubt in your head. Once you've, hey, Nikki Bradley from Dublin, OCD will put doubt in your head. Nikki, what's your favorite chip? Flavored, please, or unflavored, but you'll be judged if it's unflavored. OCD will put doubt in your head, so you'll then want to reconfirm the information to make sure that you got it right the first time. What time was I supposed to be there again? Oh, right, 6:30. Okay, yeah, that's true. And then a few minutes later, you know, you said 6:30, right? I mean, for me, it just sounds like a lot of aspects of other subtypes and symptoms of OCD. So I don't know that compulsive speech, at least in this definition, is its own unique thing. sort of what Lana referred to Tourette's. Like, I'm wondering if there's some sense of compulsive speech or some type of compulsive speech that involves specifically talking or speaking in excessive amounts. Hold on, pause a minute. This is a flavor of chip? Shrimp cocktails, a flavor of shrimp in Ireland? I mean, a flavor of chip? Please tell me that's true. And if so, I'm giving you my address. Wow. Wow. Is anybody else surprised by that? That just caught me off guard. Huh. Prawn cocktail. Yeah, there's a reason there's not shrimp flavored chips, but wow. I'm blown. I thought I'd seen it all. Shrimp cocktail flavored chips. Okay, so I will say that I have dipped various chips in cocktail sauce when you're just sitting there and it's the end of a dinner party and you have the apps out and you're like, kind of, I'm like bored, whatever, keep talking, I'm going to eat that. But I didn't realize there was a prawn cocktail flavored chip. That's kind of mind blowing. I don't know if anybody else is blown. Yeah, and agreed. It is popular in Asia. Nikki lives in Ireland. They're not that close. Wow. I'd be down. We should. I wish Mario were here because I'm curious what kind of chips they have in Lebanon as well. I'm kind of blown by that. I'm putting in into the IOCDF search just to see if anything comes up. Compulsive speech. Let's see here. Yeah, I will tell you, when I search compulsive speech as a search term, nothing comes up. Aspects of OCD come up, but nothing specifically comes up around that. If I type in, if I type in another subtype or symptom of OCD, they come up specifically with those subtypes or symptoms. I'd be curious. I don't know. I'd be curious, Jillian, if Liz or Chris or some of the other clinicians are familiar with that phrase. I'm not, and it looks like there's nothing specific on the IOCDF about it. It sounds like just qualities that individuals with OCD have. I mean, I relate to every one of those examples as well, but I would guess that those are all pieces of other subtypes and symptoms and would be treated the same. So, OCD is OCD, would be ERP, acceptance commitment therapy, other modalities of treatment, things like that. So, yeah, but thank you. I'd never heard that before, and it's clearly like it's on Google. It's a term, but I really don't know if it's a legit term. I'm gonna see if I can get an answer real quick. I'm gonna text because I feel like on a live. Quick question: have you heard of compulsive speech OCD? All right, we'll see what she says, and I'll follow up. I'm amazed at how amazed you are. I'm amazed. I mean, it's a regular thing for you. We do not have shrimp. See, okay, so I'm going to share with what Dr. McInvale is writing things. I Googled it, and it is a term like a subtype, but it basically overlaps with a lot of the primary qualities of OCD. Someone asked if I knew much about it. They have it. So she wrote like repeating things, or what do they mean by that? So sorry for the silence. I'm just trying to get y'all like some legit answers. Let's see here. All right, she's going to ask me. I'll finish. So she wrote, I guess I need to know more about what they mean, like in what function. My guess, because Dr. McInvale is kind of unsure, I'm guessing that, yeah, she said she hadn't heard this subtype. So what I'll say to that real quickly is what I mean is, if you're still on, I'm not saying that like what you're experiencing isn't OCD, but what I'm saying is miscellaneous. Yeah. See, that makes sense. Thank you, CJ. Compulsive speech is under miscellaneous compulsions in the Y box, which is what that sounds like. But it to Dr. McInvale hadn't heard of that subtype, and so I'd never seen it phrased like that. You're absolutely right; it is in the Y box as miscellaneous compulsions and fits behaviorally how many of us would act when we're triggered. And she just wrote, but I'm sure it could be within a subtype, so probably many. So hopefully that gives you additional insight. Are you leaving, Beth? So Jillian, I hope that helped a little bit. But I'd be curious to know more about, kind of what you're experiencing and how we can support. But I think we've all, deal with that description in the various ways of our own subtypes and symptoms as we navigate and try to speak and express our feelings and thoughts around whatever it is we're triggered about. We're back to cocktail chips. So CJ's never heard of it either. Just saying. Wait, Pringles has it too? The search doesn't count. That doesn't count, Beth. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That'd be like eating a chicken chip. That doesn't sound good, right? I mean, if nobody wants a chicken chip, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Hi, 40103. Sir, what is the difference between thought and thinking and relation between them? It's a great question. So thought and thinking is involuntary. Our thoughts are involuntary, meaning that thoughts will fly in and out. If you pay attention to your thoughts right now, you're probably having a number of different ones, right? So those are thoughts. And in relation to OCD, thoughts are thoughts are thoughts. They're not facts. They're not real. The thoughts are real. I'm saying it does, just because you think something doesn't make it real. Thinking is focused thought. When we are actively thinking, we are focusing on something specific, doing our best to focus on an answer, a solution, a story, whatever it is, right? So I'm thinking right now, as I try to deduce how to answer this question, while I'm thinking, I can notice other thoughts popping in and out, like, well, why the hell is there shrimp cocktail chips? And also I'm craving fried chicken. And that's kind of random thought processes, right? But that's how I at least interpret the difference between thought and thinking. I'm sure there's a more clinical explanation, but that's what came to mind. So thank you and welcome. I haven't seen you here before, so welcome. Thank you for being here. Are Liz and Chris on tomorrow at 12? That is a great question. Before I go, because we're closing up on 8, let me quickly answer that for you. Let me just pull up the schedule here and see what's cooking tomorrow. Maybe not, because it's the day before Thanksgiving, which is probably why you're asking the question. And it looks like For some reason, 2024 schedule. There we are. Sorry, apologies. November. Today is yes. There's nothing tomorrow. So the next one will be the Holiday Blues with myself and guests. So yeah. Chicken. I'm going to Ireland. Ireland has all the cool chips. Like some people go to Ireland for the history or the beer. I'm going to do a chip tour of Ireland. Is that a thing, Nikki? And if it isn't a thing, can you do it? Now that I've heard of, like, yeah, I like chocolate potato chips. Is that in 2 weeks? The town hall is next week. Next week is the town hall. And then we've got, let's see here. So just to give you a quick update for those of you that want to know schedule-wise. So we've got the community conversations today. Tomorrow's nothing because of, is thinking and thought related? I would assume so. Yeah. I would assume so, 40103. Oh, Lana, happy Thanksgiving. So Tuesday, December 3rd is the town hall Holiday Blues, and then December 4th is the next ask the is the next ask. It's the next Ask the Experts is December 4th. So you'll have Liz and Chris then. Okay, we're doing well with words tonight. Maya says people sometimes do snack calls where they try a bunch of snack chips from specific. And I know there's like, because they have gift baskets with different snacks from around the world. I signed someone up for that last year as a gift. So I'm sure you can order these. But man, all right. So quick poll. Did everybody enjoy the chip conversation? I really did. And I hope, I don't think this is me asking for reassurance, but it's true. I'm speechless. I'm still blown by prawn cocktail shrimps. I sincerely hope, I know people, obviously we're here for support. We're here to talk about a serious conversation. I always like to infuse it with humor. Today, we definitely spoke more off topic than we usually do. I see what you're saying, 40103. All right, give me 1 second. So obviously we were way off topic more than usual today. So hopefully no one was offended by that. If you're going through some stuff, we obviously care deeply, respect you, and want to hear your thoughts and feelings. But it was also fun to have this conversation as well. So just want to put that out there that I hope everybody understood the lighthearted nature of it, and no way minimizing anyone's pain or suffering that they're going through today. And obviously we're here if you needed to talk or anything like that. Real quick, we're a little over time. How to forget a thought, which says that I will pop back again. So this is a longer conversation, but in regards to OCD, I mean, first and foremost, the whole idea of if there's a thought that keeps popping in, it's an intrusive thought, right? And that is a part of OCD. And so, you know, by thinking we wish we could get rid of these thoughts, the thoughts keep coming back. And so by the desire to forget a thought, it's just like, don't think of the pink elephant. I don't want to think of the pink elephant, not the pink elephant. And of course, by doing that over and over again, we're speaking about the pink elephant. So there's a whole skill set and modality of treatment dedicated to teaching us how to deal with our intrusive thoughts, whatever they may be. Exposure and response prevention, 4013, if you're familiar with that, is the gold standard of treatment in dealing with intrusive thoughts. And you can definitely find more information on the website, on the IOCDF website. And I can show that website in 1 second, if you'd like to go. And you can also email me, and we can definitely answer that question further. But it's in essence, that's sort of at the center of all of OCD treatment, is navigating intrusive thoughts, whether the compulsions are outward or inward, mental or physical. How do we navigate them? We just want to stop having these thoughts and stop thinking about these things that are torturing us. And so, yeah, check out the website, iocdf.org, as well as exposure, response, and prevention. Exposure and response prevention. Now I'm craving chips, Doritos, pretzels, 3 different kinds of chips in my closet now. Everybody, we're going to Beth's house for yes, and I white chocolate covered pretzel. See, now we're going into next week's conversation. The covered pretzel. I just picked up blueberry covered pretzels, blueberry yogurt covered pretzels. So that's where we are today. All right. So first of all, thank you so much for being here. If this was your first time, this wasn't the normal conversation, but I hope you had at least a fun time, or at least sat there wondering what the hell is going on. And in that moment, while you were thinking that, simultaneously weren't thinking about, even if just was a couple minutes, you weren't thinking about the things that were upsetting you or making you anxious or stressing you out. And if we did that, then we had a good hour. I know the blueberry covered pretzels are insane. So with that, I want to thank the IOCDF for hosting this conversation on chip flavors. I want to thank me for running the behind the scenes. Real quick, as always, the IOCDF is a donor-supported nonprofit. Please consider making a donation at iocdf.org /donate. Let me quickly put up the IOCDF website. So if obviously if you need help, support, email, resources, an amazing website with lots and lots of phenomenal information, visit iocdf.org. As always, if you would like to be notified immediately when I come on to talk about absolutely frivolous shit, and I don't know why I'm cursing now, but anyway, like, subscribe on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X, Instagram. Am I missing anything? And you'll get notified right away when we come on. Yeah, that should cover everything. I gave out the schedule too, so we are well informed. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Jillian. I really am. I hope you got some additional insight on compulsive speech. I think getting a few little quick answers from Dr. Liz was really helpful, and and that's what I had thought, but I wanted to confirm. I didn't want to just say outright. But I think that maybe it's a subtype of a subtype, and obviously the qualities associated with it are pretty common in all subtypes of OCD. So hopefully that was helpful. Y'all are awesome. I love this group so much. We've become a family. So if this is your first time live, your first time here, thank you for joining us. We're so grateful that you're here, and look forward to continue supporting you through the rest of this year and next year and having our wonderful conversation. So with all of that, have a beautiful evening. Feel the feels. Don't let OCD off the hook. If you are, oh, no problem, Jillian. No problem at all. If you're in the States, have a very, very happy, beautiful Thanksgiving. Please give yourself room to just be and experience. Thank you for coming from India. That's amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I know it's probably Wednesday morning, I think, there. But welcome, welcome. This will be recorded if you came late, so you can miss it. And there's others in the playlists as well. But we hope you join us again. We'll be back on Tuesday at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, with another conversation, and we'd be happy to answer questions as well. So anyway, have a beautiful Thanksgiving if you're in the States. If not, we are all thankful for you. That's it. Have a beautiful evening. Good night. This is where I'm supposed to put up. Oh, yes, here it is.